Well, it's autumn here at the tiny farm. Not that you'd know it by the look of the garden, but I thought we'd do a little walk around and see what's new with the change of seasons, hey? G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. I did actually get a couple of pumpkins. I've got one inside and two still on the pumpkin vine. Madagascar beans are going well as usual. Tons of those. Basil's doing pretty well. Got some lettuce there coming up and a couple of cabbages I put in. They're self-seeded, those lettuce, which is really good. Yeah, the bloody Madagascar's gone nuts. The rosemary's doing fantastic. I'm getting a few chillies. Those little bonnet chillies are the ones I grow. You can see one down there. That's perpetual spinach. It came up by itself, another volunteer. Now I have got a couple of flowers on the pomegranate. I doubt I'll get seed because I think it's too young. And once winter really hits, I'm going to have to cut that bugger back because he's getting a bit out of control. The peanut experiment did not work. Now they send little runners, there's one there, that go down onto the soil, and that's where it produces the peanuts. So not a good plan in buckets. The runners ran all down the bloody side of the bucket and of course had nowhere to grow the peanut. I've put potato slips in the buckets. They haven't done anything yet, too soon. Yeah, I really wasn't joking about those bloody Madagascar beans. I got a ton of them. I might do a video clip. I found a recipe for turning the beans into like rissole patties, hamburger patties. So might do a clip on that some stage. There's the chillies. I'm drying them. So still on the north side of the yard, which is our sunny side. Sorrel. Couple of cabbages I just recently stuck in, a self-seeded what's that, parsley, got it. A couple of cherry tomatoes. I've planted quite a few cherry tomatoes around the place and they're also coming up of their own accord. The reason I stuck the pot base behind that pumpkin was you can see it actually got stuck in the fence, so I had to make sure that couldn't happen. We've got snow peas in. They're about to come on. Curry tree went to flower. That's a tropical pear that's never produced any fruit. Blueberries, they'll be starting to die back. Well, you can see that one's already dying back. Got a good lot of citrus on. That's a lemon and that one's an orange. So they're going well. That's silver beet. I'm not sure if it's silver beet or perpetual spinach, to be honest, because it seems to be sort of looking after itself now. You see there's tomatoes springing up around the place. Rossie's passion fruit, which is also growing in the grape. It's producing a nice crop of passion fruits. There's a pretty passion fruit flower. Oh look, there's a native bee on it. That's a little Aussie bee flying around in front of that passion fruit flower. Somewhere under there is a grape. Oh yeah, I can see a few leaves. This one is sweet leaf or katuk. I've made a couple of bottles of pesto out of that just yesterday, in fact. There's more passion fruit on the vine. And a couple more over here. They're doing well. The bees are still doing well. All 4 hives are going great. This is mostly not edibles out here, except for the mad passion fruit vine, which is going everywhere. Holy bloody hell, look at it, will you? Holy guacamole. Root pouch where the corn was. We got hammered by aphids and got 1 cob of corn. Can you believe it? Oh. Anyway, about to put carrots in there now. I've drowned the ants that lived in there, so that problem should have been solved. I presume you can see all the green kumquats on that tree. We're about to get a bumper. See, there's the building site where I put the swales and stuff. Pigeon peas doing nicely up there, and the bananas have survived. About to come into rose season. Rossie's pawpaw up there is also producing little fruits. There's a couple of them up there. Oh, not that any gardening friends would care, but The Delica's gone. You might recall every so often I do a temporary camper video showing you how I use the Delica to camp. The Delica's gone and we now have a Kia Carnival. It's called a Sedona in the States. So I'll do a video on that eventually to show you how I set up the bed in the back. Just mention as well, I got a new barbecue from Aldi. Now I don't normally sing anybody's praises, as you know, but this barbecue was cheap and it's an absolute bloody ripper. So it's got a cupboard up this end. It's got one of the wok burners up that end. It's a 6 burner. The buttons all light up when you're using them. And on this end, that lifts up and becomes a little side table that swings out that way. Fantastic piece of kit. I was using it last night, in fact, to barbecue some zucchinis. Loving it. Well done, Aldi. You can see the Footpath Gardens actually started to come on in the last couple of months. We've got lemongrass out there that I separated from mine in the backyard. Turmeric, which I planted just from spare bits that I had from the backyard. That's a little sage. There's some mint sort of popping up of its own accord in the lawn. God bless it. That was a native raspberry, but unfortunately Percy the bush turkey dug it out about 5 times and it looks like it hasn't survived the last digging out, so I'll buy a new one of them because I like them. More turmeric. I had some ginger going quite well out here, but Percy the bush turkey dug it out. There's lemongrass, and the mango tree that I grew from a seed is doing quite well. You'll see I've cut that to encourage it to thicken up more, and I did have a Madagascar bean in that front bit there, but Percy the bush turkey dug it out. Oh, here's an interesting little one that Percy hasn't dug out. This is a native berry called a mindenberry. So it's an Australian native bush tucker plant. So if that works, I'll be very keen to let you know what the berries are like. Haven't seen anyone else growing that. Quick look at Rosie's geraniums. They're kind of pretty right beside the front door. We've got orchids going in the... There goes Bob. See you, Bob. Orchids going in the Japanese garden. You can see the ferns out there are going nuts. That's a bromeliad. So yeah, it's a nice space out there. So as we come back into the big girls' yard, still called the big girls, haven't lost the big girls probably 4 years ago, but the yard will always be the big girls' yard. We did get a few figs. Oh, so Benny spotted the bush turkey. Yep, bloody Percy. Lemons are on, lemonades are on. Oh look, I've even got a lime. That's that lime tree I rescued from the dead. Looks like the grape's starting to die back in there a bit, doesn't it? I'm pulling that bloody string of solar lights down. I just haven't finished the job. Typical Andy. Got some mandarins on. Rosie's got yet another bloody passion fruit vine going over here. The ruby grapefruit hasn't got any ruby grapefruits on, but it does have a cherry tomato that's growing in it, and the cherry tomato is producing tomatoes, so I'm quite happy about that. That's a native finger lime. That's a lychee, and behind the finger lime just there is an orange that's growing in a pot. It's even producing oranges. You can see I'm in a bit of bounty at the moment. I'm really loving this time of year. There's another pomegranate that's not flowering. There's a feijoa that's never bloody done anything. I espaliered that so it wouldn't take up too much room. Got a little eggplant on there. The rose, that's an iceberg rose. I lost the one on the other side in the drought. Bit of a bugger. The peach is dying back now, which is good because I'm going to give him one hell of a haircut. I'm actually having to spray him with a organic spray. See that white crap all over him? I think it's a scale. Could be a fungus. I'd say it's a scale because the ants are farming it, so I'll get back onto that again today. I did it about a week ago. Rosie's got another papaya grove there. Where are the damn papayas? I don't even eat them. He didn't supervise the chickens properly and they demolished my damn rhubarb. Hey, caramba. Looks like they've survived, so that's good. That's an edible leaf called beetle leaf. There's a little pipsqueak orange on that corner that's got oranges on. It's got quite a number on actually. I'm having to spray him fairly frequently too. Ants, I'm really having ant trouble. They got in the roots and killed my corn on the other side of the yard, and they're really hammering my citrus with aphids. So I am having to do a bit of organic spraying. There's a guava. I've been planting, like I said, tomatoes, but also chilies. I'm putting a few more chilies in around the place. The aquaponics is slowing down, although I made, as I said before with the sweet leaf, I also used a ton of that Chinese water spinach, kangkong. I'm really getting not a lot of sun over here, so even things like the shallots are slowing down. The chives are even starting to slow down, but that's okay. I did a clip recently on the fish, so I won't show you them. They're doing quite well. That's more ginger in that pot there, and in the back pot is Yacon. That's what that big hula there is. The girls are going well. Bertha's on the malt. That's the stripy one. Hang on, I'll open it. The barred Plymouth Rock. That's Bertha. She's molting. She's never looked worse. But in good news, Winnie, the Wyandotte there, she's actually growing all the feathers back, and I've never seen her looking so good. That's good. Good on you, Winnie. The final piece of the puzzle is the quails. They're doing quite well. I've got 5 more littlies inside that were my last run. They're feathering up. They'll come out and join their friends soon. This was the last lot of little chicks. Went in this. Oh no, it went in the bottom, next cage. I'll show you that. So down here was where I put my 5 little new chicks. Quails are still on the lay, as you can see. I get about 8 eggs a day from the quails. I only get about 1 from the chickens. They've gone off the lay now. I'll have to sex what's in this cage here. Like I say, a lot of them were my chicks. So with the 5 new ones coming out, I don't want to overcrowd. So we'll probably do a bit of hocking birds off down at the produce shop. You can see they're still laying. These are the old ones. Mostly females, but not laying a lot because of their age. They'd be pushing 2 years now, these old birds. They've had a good life, haven't you, hey? Alright, well that's pretty much it, folks, for what's going on around the tiny farm and in the middle of fall or autumn. If you like this kind of self-sufficiency stuff, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Ring the little bell and that'll let you get notified. Oh, I should be doing pretty soon, because that golden pender there's come into flowers, so pretty soon I'll be doing a whole lot of rainbow lorikeet clips, because I bloody love that tree. But anyway, there you go, folks. Hope you have a good one. Hope your gardens are prospering, for those of you who have them, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.